So I'm sitting here typing up my reports for this week, and I'm going over all the topics. And I'm looking over at my notes, and I passed by something that you don't see very often. It says special guest Tim. No, not tight end Timmy, the man I destroyed this week, but Tim, a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. And I had to read it over because I thought this couldn't be true. A person willing to admit they like the Jaguars? So I said, all right, let's roll with this one. Welcome back to Show Us Your TDs. I'm here with my PIC, Melky. How you doing?
Back at it again, week 13. The Milkman is stoked to be calling a shit ton of audibles to throw your game off. But before you introduce our special surprise, I have a joke for you.
All right.
What do the Jacksonville Jaguars and possums have in common?
I don't know.
Both play dead at home and get killed on the road. Oh!
All right. Well, our special guest is Tim, aka Nemo. Nemo, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciated the jokes. I feel like those were pretty good. I did like the possum one. I might have to use it myself someday.
By all means, it's all yours. I did it for you. Yeah. So Tim, I haven't seen you since Shannon, the convener from softball. Yes. You grabbed a slice of pizza off her.
Yeah.
But we both know she wanted you to grab something else, something in the dessert realm, maybe some cherry pie.
Listen, it's a full dinner thing. You don't just get me off a slice of pizza. I'm not that easy.
So you need to be wined and dined, is what you're saying.
To quote Cartman, I need to be wined and dined before I get fucked in the ass. Although, yeah. I don't know if we're going down that route. But
yeah, no, that's okay with me. That's great. We love our South Park references here.
Oh, yeah, you can't go wrong with the South Park reference. But speaking of getting fucked in the ass, let's dive right into fantasy talk.
Yes, sir.
And I swear to God, fantasy hates me like one of those like lonely puppies you find on the street and they follow you home and you try to like shoo it back because you think it belongs to someone, but it just falls in. You have to end up keeping it. That is fantasy and I. But let's talk about the matchups. Goobie, since I know you did a lot better than I did, how did you fare last week?
Well, I destroyed second place. I took second place in very fine fashion. I won 109-58. What a beatdown. I'll give you some good numbers here. Matthew Stafford put up 32 points. Justin Jefferson put up 9.5 points. Brandon Cooks, I'm glad I started him with 10.5 points. Christian McCaffrey, that's a big one. 3.5 points and now is on IR and never playing again this season. So that sucks for me. Daryl
sounds like you problem.
It's definitely a big me problem. Darrell Henderson, 13.3 points, top 6. You know what I'm talking about. Mark Andrews, 12.5 points. Devontae Smith, 2.2 points. Nick Folk. Who thought you could get 21 points out of a kicker? Like, that's crazy. I love that. And Dallas defense, 5 points. Yeah, he started Cam Newton, which was probably a terrible choice. I mean, Russell Wilson put up 25 points, so I'm surprised he didn't start Russell Wilson over Cam Newton. That's just a shame. But yeah, I destroyed him. I took second place, and I hope I can keep it. Melky, how you looking over there?
Well, obviously not as great as you with that new trimmed beard that you got going on. But before that, let's talk about Cam Newton over Russell Wilson. Now, Nemo, I know you're in a league too. And if you had a choice between Cam Newton and Russell Wilson, well, who would you have chosen and why?
Pretty sure Cam Newton's career died 3 years ago. So as far as I'm concerned, I think I had him 3 years ago. No chance I'd ever go down that road again. He's a great player in his day, but he's done. He's cooked.
Yeah, like I was shocked. He actually messaged me and we were talking about strategy or whatever. And I said, "Oh, you think Russ is going to put up some numbers this week?" And he's like, "Who cares?" I'm like, "Well, why? Why? What are you doing?" He's like, "I got a surprise what kind of surprise? I'm playing Cam Newton. I'm like, that's not much of a surprise.
Of course, there's some collusion going on over there for him to beat me.
Well, that's a difference of opinion, but yeah, I just wouldn't have never started Cam Newton over Russ.
Hey,
Wasn't
Nemo.
5 of 19, was that the line? Or 5 of 20?
Yeah, something like that.
Something awful like that, right?
Ridiculous. 92 passing yards, 2 interceptions.
And he was benched. He was benched in the second half.
I got a question for you, Nemo, though. Speaking of bad decisions, would you ever sit Patrick Mahomes in the fantasy lineup?
No. Never.
Yeah. Didn't think so. We had someone last year do that, and they lost terribly.
Yeah, it's a continuous running joke on this podcast, but
yeah. I've got no words for that one.
Yeah, that's a terrible one.
Fair enough.
All right.
Let's talk about my horrendous matchup last week. I got my ass handed to me by How I Met Metcalf, Your Mother. But she pounded the shit out of me, 133-95. I had no chance. She had Dak Prescott. She had Carlson, the kicker, who also got over 20 points. She had Joe Mixon. She had Knox from Buffalo and Devontae Adams. I had no chance. In fact, I'm calling out my team again because they were absolutely putrid. I'm pointing the damn finger. Darren Waller, you bum. You haven't done anything all season. You get hurt. You had a chance to wild out and fucked me in the ass big time. So fuck you. I'm done with you. Jamar Chase, 3.9 points. Now I'm blaming Burrow more than Chase, but come on, man. You're supposed to be a stud. You got me thus far, and now you're like slowing down at the finish race. I can't have that. I need more from you. Miles Sanders, I am not starting you ever again. You are playing the lonely Giants, and all you can muster is 6.4 points. Get the fuck out of here. Chris Boswell, 5 points. Now, I know most of that's Big Ben's fault, but 5 freaking points. I should drop your ass. LA Rams defense, don't even get me started. That's just a dumpster fire swimming in a pool of piss right now. And Justin Herbert, only 28 points. You're supposed to be a stud. What happened to your 40-point heroics last week or 2 weeks ago? Or your 50-point heroics when I didn't start you? Come on, how am I supposed to win? Nemo, help me out here. What the fuck's going on?
It's been a weird year, man. I feel you on the Darren Waller. He's on my team too, and just the tight end position in general is just might as well. If you don't have Travis Kelce, and even this year, I don't think he's been that great until recently. It's just kind of a tire fire in general, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he's got Mark Andrews. He's got Mark Andrews who's been balling out a bit.
Yeah, Mark Andrews has done well for me.
Did he last week though with the whole Mr. 4 INTs?
he did. I think what did I say? He got 10 and a half points or something like that. So it's all right for a tight end.
Yeah, it's been garbage.
Wait, Melky, didn't I tell you to start Gaskin again?
Okay, seriously, my bench balled out. Like, I didn't start Jalen Waddle, which was stupid of me. I wanted to. I've been starting him, and I didn't this week. Went on a hunch. Obviously, that didn't work. Yeah, Gaskins has balled out the last 2 weeks. This man has told me, do not play Gibson and play Gaskin. But to Gibson's credit, Gibson had a great game on Monday. So
yeah, it was a 1 point
I was
difference.
Gonna say he did all right.
Yeah, Gibson was all right. So it is what it is. I had no chance. Like, as soon as the Cowboys game went to OT, I knew I was fucked. As soon as Knox caught 2 touchdowns, I knew I was fucked. As soon as Mixon had 2 touchdowns, I knew I was fucked. As soon as Carlson, who almost shat himself and didn't wear a diaper during the game, as soon as he fucking got, I don't know how many kicks he had, but it was enough for 21 points, I was fucked. And then Devontae Adams went over for 100 yards. So I had no chance. And she's laughing. And the thing is, she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
She didn't even look at her team.
And as soon as you saw that you had Chris Boswell as a kicker, you knew you were fucked too. Where's a Lutz when you need him, right?
Man, Lutz fucked me over so many times. I can't even look at him. I know he's your number one in your heart.
Oh, he is.
But not over here. Not over on the Melky side. Fuck him. Fuck kickers in general.
Well, you know what though? I'm not helping you this week. I'm not telling you to start anybody. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. The reason is I'm playing you this week. And what a matchup this is going to be. Projections right now is 110 to 108 for your man.
It's going to change.
Henry.
Oh, it's going to change.
Wait, I got a question though. Should I change my name now from Henry to something else because he just doesn't want to play?
I mean, you still have him in IR, so technically he's on your team.
That's true. But yeah. All right, Nemo, you can follow along with us because I sent you the little pick order or whatever. I got Matthew Stafford at 31 points. Justin Jefferson predicted 12, almost 13 points. I got Hunter Renfrow right now in my wide receiver 2 slot. I'm not sure yet. I might change that. Darrell Henderson. And I got Tevin Coleman. Ugh.
Ew. Any Jets players? Ew.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of options here. I got Mark Andrews, Brandon Cooks, who, again, the wide receiver might change. Nick Folk, I hope you have a game again. And I got the Dallas defense. Things might change because I got Stevenson on my bench. So it might go in for Tevin Coleman. I'm not sure yet. And then I got Van Jefferson and I got Devontae Smith. So I'm still pondering what I'm gonna do. But Melky, who do you got going up against me?
All right. Well, on the Melky side, we have Justin Herbert, projected at 28.7 points. Stephon Diggs projected at 11.5. Jamar Chase, I swear to God, you better come through this week. 10.14. Austin Eckler, 15.5. Antonio Gibson, 13.4. Darren Waller will not be on my team this week because I'm just waiting for his ass to go on IR so I can go grab someone. So for now, he just is keeping the spot warm. Myles Gaskins, I just changed it just to piss you off. At 10.3. Chris Boswell, Nemo's favorite kicker, at 8.5. And I got the Rams defense facing a really crappy Jags offense at 9.2. Rounding off the squad. So Nemo,
listen, I've got to address this first because I heard it in last week's podcast.
Let's do it.
There are two things you should always grab off the Jaguars, aka the worst teams in the league. You always draft their kickers because they can't score. So if by miracle they get in the red zone, it's going to lead to a lot of field goals. And the second one, I think you mentioned it, James Robinson would be the only other player. I mean, after that, you're right. Like the team's just straight dumpster fire. But
yeah, look, they're excited that they won the coin toss.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be that excited when Urban Meyer gets fired. But hey,
he just needs to touch more girls that aren't his wife.
Yep.
I was gonna say it looks like a pretty close matchup. Goobie, you've got some serious work to do at the running back position. Pretty sure Henderson's injured as well this week, so
yeah,
you're gonna want to sit him. But I think both quarterbacks. I'm guessing both quarterbacks, both Stafford and Herbert. I feel like it's a coin flip. I feel like Herbert's gonna bounce back and have a huge game. A bit of a shootout with Cincinnati.
Let's do it.
Wait, I Nemo, sorry, I got a question for you. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Do you know like my team on paper before all the injuries in the world happened?
I mean, I know that you have Derrick Henry, or you're just a really big fan of O. Henry. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
I had Stafford, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Darrell Henderson, fucking Nick Folk in the Dallas defense. I had a stacked team before all the injuries.
Keyword.
Injuries. It happens. Listen, I'm hearing a lot of excuses here.
Yeah, you had. This is what you have right now.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I feel like this matchup's gonna come right down to the wire, to be honest. Obviously, you guys both have. Again, I think a lot comes down to that LA Chargers. That Chargers
and Cincy game,
Bungles game. I mean, if somehow Cincinnati's defense shows up, which that team's Jekyll and Hyde, but Melky, you might be in some trouble, buddy, because you've got three? You've got Herbert and Eckler, so. But I would expect them to light it up. So
yeah, 2 weeks. It's gonna be like 2 weeks ago against the lonely Steelers. Let's go.
Again, I mean, I like Goobie's tight end here. I think Pittsburgh's just hot garbage at this point.
Yeah.
I would think this will come down to the wire. Might come down to a game of the kickers.
Oh, that he's gonna win. I am anticipating though that because Pittsburgh is such a hot mess, it's gonna come down to a lot of field goals. Like if you looked at the Sunday night game last week with Baltimore and Cleveland, it was basically the kickers. Justin Tucker had like 3 monster kicks. The Cleveland kicker had a couple. Obviously Lamar was giant. He was a big ball of giant poo because he threw 4 picks, like you alluded to earlier. So that's why I'm keeping him in. And he's been pretty good. He hasn't missed. He hasn't missed a kick since, I think, week 2, if I'm not mistaken. So he's on kind of a roll as well. The Patriots kicker, I had him. I dropped him because he was hurt. It was a game time decision. I'm like, well, I need a kicker. So that's why you were fortunate enough to grab him. But other than that, it might come down to the kickers. Who knows? But I need the win to keep my playoff hopes alive. And I just think your team, you have basically scraps on the table, and I have a full course meal. So I should win this week.
I definitely do have scraps. But I will predict that Matthew Stafford will have the best game this year for himself. I think he's gonna score over 45 points this week.
I bet you a toonie he doesn't break 40 because they'll sit him. They'll sit him after.
They'll probably
he's hurting too, isn't he? I could see that happening too if they get a big lead. So by the second quarter, halfway through the first, they might just pull them. Because I think last week he was playing, what was it, shoulder, back, and something else?
Yeah, I heard something about that. But like even on here, it doesn't even say he's questionable or doubtful or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, worst case scenario, I throw in Joe Burrows against the Chargers. So.
Well, I wonder, I'm looking at, is Cincinnati going to throw that much, or are they just going to run? Because right now the Chargers defense couldn't stop the Toronto Argonauts from running on them. So, you could bring Pinball Clemens in, and he'd have a couple hundred yards rushing.
See, if I trusted Joe Burrows, I would play him because then every time Jamar Chase scores, I score.
True.
Yeah, but that goes hand in hand. So you're really not helping yourself, or unless he's going somewhere else. That's why on the wire, I'm gonna grab a certain LA player to do the same thing to you.
You can say I don't have the waiver priority, and by the time this comes out, it'll be gone.
You'll find out later. Anyways, let's move on, boys.
All right. Let's talk defeats, and let's talk about another shitty team in the NFL. Not talking about the Jaguars. I'm talking about the Cowboys. Cowboys lose 36-33 against the Raiders. And yeah, Prescott put up a game, but just couldn't get it done. Ezekiel Elliott looked like shit. Tony Pollard had more touches than him. Without their 1 and 2 wide receiver, I don't know, man. Like, it's just looking dreadful right now. Nemo, what do you think of this Thanksgiving game that we had?
I don't know. To be honest, I think it's kind of a hard. These Thursday, I want to say, short week. You're playing on a Thursday. I feel like you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, I feel like Dallas has been super inconsistent, but I still wouldn't worry too much about them in terms of. I still think they're for real this year. I still like them to at least get through one round of the playoffs.
Okay.
Is the way I kind of look at it. I mean, it was a bad game. Again, short week. And yeah, it's tough. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know you're both big Cowboys fans, but
yeah, the real Big D.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Melky, I know I'm gonna hear from you in a second, but Michael Gallup had 5 receptions, 106 yards, and Cedric Wilson, like I said, was gonna ball out 7 receptions for 104 yards. Melky, like, is it because we were without our 1 and 2?
Yeah, that had a lot to do with it. Obviously, they're game changers. Amari and CD, they're both game changers for a reason. But I'm not putting it on that. You still had a chance to win at the end of the day. You took it to OT. You couldn't get it done. Mike McCarthy needs to go. I'm sorry. Time management has a lot to do in football, and he does not take the proper timeouts or stop the clock when he's supposed to. You know, Dak was frazzled the second pick, I think, near the end zone. Dak rushed that play. And I'm not saying it's all Mike McCarthy because Dak should have been smart enough not to throw to the other player on the other team. But still, if he had taken a timeout, they could have drawn a different play, and maybe the fortunes would have been different. So I'm not glad Mike McCarthy has COVID, but I'm glad he will not be coaching this Thursday because it is a big game. It's a big deal. It's to shoot up the ladder. Washington is only 2 games behind, and you play Washington twice coming up. You need to make a statement. You need to show the critics you are for real. But I got a question for both of you before we move on. Is it time to write off the Dallas Cowboys as a Super Bowl contender?
Yes. Nemo?
That's tough. I will say no, not yet.
Not yet.
Right.
For the simple reason that I don't trust the Cardinals at all.
Ooh.
And to be quite honest, I mean, the Buccaneers are they're winning, but they're not exactly blowing teams out. So
yeah,
I think, I would say aside from the Packers, I think it's pretty wide open in the NFC. So
yeah.
I agree
I kind of agree with that. One thing I will admit, or one thing I will say is Keelan Moore, this is your time to fucking shine. So.
Well, he would be mad that you got his name wrong. It's Kellen, but
Keelan, close enough. But this is his time to shine because they're saying that he's going to get a head coaching job next year or very soon. So.
Well, not only him, Dan Quinn as well. They're both taking the bull by the horns this week. So if they can prove that they don't need fat ass McCarthy, that's a big win in my book.
Yep.
But let's move on from a would-be contender to another would-be contender in the LA Rams. So they lost to the Green Bay Packers 36-28, and Stafford still continues to struggle. Aaron Rodgers posted 307 yards, 2 TDs, a rushing TD, while Matthew Stafford posted 302 passing yards, 3 passing TDs, 1 INT, a fumble loss, and that fumble loss was nasty, and a 2-point conversion and -1 rushing yards. Who gets minus yards in rushing? So I had a question for you guys, but a fan of the show decided to send me a voice memo, and he actually has a question for us. So Goobie, can you play that for us, please?
Yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wondering how you feel about them Rams. They don't look like contenders. They're more pretenders. All right, I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
Now, boys, what do we feel about the Rams? Are they pretenders now?
Nemo.
I think so. This team reminds me. I'll let you guys answer this first, and then come back to why I think they are. But I
Sure.
think they're pretenders.
Okay. I don't think they're pretenders per se. Stafford is looking not now, not the last couple games, but he was looking like an MVP candidate. I mean, Cooper Kupp, he's the best wide receiver in the game right now, I think. You got a decent duo with Darrell Henderson and Sonny Michel. And even Van Jefferson looked great last week. So him taking the number 2 spot looks good. I mean, they got Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, he got a touchdown. He got 81 yards. It was looking good for them. But the biggest thing is defense wins championships, and they got a great defense. So I still think they're contenders.
They have a great defense, but they're 0-4 with Von Miller.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? I still believe they're contenders. I do think this team can win. Sean McVay is a good coach. They have everything you could ask for in a team. Now, is Stafford hurt? Nemo, both of you alluded to earlier, yes, there is something going on there, mechanical wise. Is that an excuse? No. He kind of looks like the Stafford from the Lions, and it's very scary right now.
Yeah.
So I still believe they're contenders. I had them as my Super Bowl pick. I'm sticking with it. I'm not a Skip Bayless or a Stephen A. Smith where I can just change my picks whenever I want. I still have the Rams going and winning the big one in their hometown. So that's my opinion.
Well, here's my thing. Did you guys watch the end of that game?
No, it was horrible.
Okay, I agree, but for whatever reason, I was fascinated. Speaking of bad clock management, they ran on 3rd and 1 with no timeouts left, down by 11, where they could have kicked the field goal, and if they recover the onside kick, you're down 8 with a minute left. Instead, they kicked the field goal anyways, and they had 20 seconds left by the time they tried the onside kick. And I was like, what? Like, it's right from Mike McCarthy's playbook. Like,
probably text him that play. He's like, you should do this, okay?
You should try this one.
This is gonna work, I swear.
Here's my biggest worry with the Rams. I think too many egos sometimes can disrupt your team. And do you remember when the Eagles signed all those guys and their whole year was just a tire fire?
Or is this post TO?
I think so. Or it might have been. It was when they signed, I forget who it was, but they signed a bunch of guys on the defense. It was supposed to be like, oh, like this is the next great team, and then they were just like trash.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forget.
Was that under Chip Kelly? Was that under Chip Kelly?
I think so. I think it was.
Oh God, there's another.
I think it was like a year or two just before they won the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, so that would have been under Chip Kelly.
To me, I'm worried that it's undoubtedly they're talented and they're gonna get and I think like they will. I don't doubt that they'll make the playoffs, and they're getting Cam Akers back.
They're just trying to.
He's coming back.
That's what they were saying on the broadcast, that he'll be back in a couple weeks.
Wow.
But I mean, the guy hasn't played all year. Like, I don't know. To me, I think Jalen Ramsey, I think, does have a bit of an ego. I think Odell Beckham Jr.'s whatever at this point.
A curse?
I don't think it's a curse. He's not what he used to be. And I just wonder if it's not like they acquired all these all this high price talent, but are these guys past their prime?
Yeah, that's a legit question.
Well, I mean, if you pick someone up from the Broncos, yes, they're past their prime.
The Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos. But yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, like, it seems like they're trying too hard by just picking up all these players. But at the same time, man, you can't deny the talent that they do have. So I mean, if they could get Robert Woods back, if they could,
Nope.
We mean no.
He's out for the year.
No, I'm saying if they could, then I feel like they would have a better shot of making the Super Bowl.
I think it's bigger than losing Robert Woods. McVay's trying to be too cute, and it's
That's
kicking
true.
him in the ass. Anyways, let's go to the next story, boys.
All right.
Sorry, just quickly. That Eagles team we were talking about was 2011, I think.
Oh, that was a while ago. Okay,
way back. But no, I was gonna say I want to talk about a sleeper I'm liking right now. And that's the Pats beating the Titans, 36-13. I'm liking this Patriot team, and I don't like the Patriots. Like, I hate the Patriots, especially hate Tom Brady. But
he's not there anymore.
I know he's not there, but still, when you talk Patriots, you talk Tom Brady. It goes hand in hand.
What about Bill Belichick?
Fuck Bill Belichick. He snuffed Tom Brady. And you don't do that to Tom Brady. I hate him, but you don't do that to Tom Brady.
Have you seen his wife though? His wife is pretty hot.
Which one? Giselle? Or are we talking?
No, I'm talking Belichick's wife.
All right, I'll have to Google this later. But man, Mac Jones, 23 of 32, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, Stevenson, they were running the ball with their double-headed dragon, I guess you could call it, Damian Harrison and Stevenson. And they just spread the ball out. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players with receptions. Like, this is a team that's running on all 4 cylinders right now, and I'm liking it. I'm enjoying this. Melky, what do you think?
It's crazy that Bill Belichick can work so well with probably arguably 2 of the least athletic players in history in the NFL, in Tom Brady and Mac Jones, aka Mac and Cheese. This team is dangerous right now. This team is running on all cylinders. I said they'd make the playoffs just because of their defense alone. I did not see Mac Jones maturing this fast and this quickly. Good on him. I still think they need more weapons, but they're working with everything they have. So I got a question for you guys. Are the Patriots the most dangerous team right now in the AFC?
Oh, that's a hard question because, like, the AFC does have, like, really good talent. Ravens, Bengals, Bills. I mean, Titans if they were healthy. Colts, even the Colts, man. Like, Kansas City Chargers. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think they're the best, but
I didn't say best. I said most dangerous right now.
I'd say they're most dangerous because, like, everybody's sleeping on them, and you don't sleep on Bill Belichick.
Nemo?
I mean, I think so. I would say it's either them or the Chiefs, to be quite honest, just because the Chiefs seem to be rolling now, and that's kind of scary. But they're definitely that defense, and you got to give it up to Mac Jones. It's not someone I'd want to play in the playoffs, but I guess Monday night's matchup will tell us a lot more if they're for real or not.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a battle for the division, and we'll find out who the real contender and pretender is.
Yeah, I think they might have got a little bit easy against the Titans because the Titans are so injury riddled right now with AJ Brown out and freaking Derrick Henry, and that's a dumpster fire right there. That's going downhill very fast.
Well, Tannehill has 5 interceptions in 2 games. I think he only had 93 passing yards last week.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, I think everybody kind of knew the moment Derrick Henry went down that they were screwed, because that offense was run some more, and then play option pass when you've run it already like 400 million times. It's not like Tannehill's ever been the guy who, like, the one-man show, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they ran the ball well. Dontrell Hillard ran 12 times for 131 yards and a touchdown, and Deontay Foreman ran 19 times for 109 yards. So combined, they got 150 yards, or 140 yards. Sorry. So like, they ran well. It's just, I think without their two wide receivers and Julio and AJ Brown, they're not getting it done.
Yeah, we're not remembering this Titan team right now.
No.
But here's something that I remember watching, because I have a couple of players on my fantasy team. The Bengals carving up the Steelers in a beatdown, 41-10. Joe Burrow, 190 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and an INT. Big Ben, who for some reason is looking like Mini Ben or Little Ben, or maybe that's what he calls his penis. Who knows? For 263 passing yards, 1 TD, 2 INTs. That pick 6 was dreadful. Joe Mixon, I mentioned earlier, he went for $165 with 2 TDs. So guys, is it over for Big Ben? Is it time for him to retire?
Yeah. 100% time for this guy to retire. I think this is going to be his last season. I mean, this was his playoff push, if you want to say, and I don't even think they make the playoffs. At 5-5-1, I don't think there's a chance. And yeah, the Bengals are just looking like fucking a great team. But yeah, Steelers.
What does that say?
Well, yeah. What did that say?
I couldn't see
It said yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger, hang up your cleats. You're done. Nemo, what are your thoughts?
Couldn't agree with you more. To be honest, I think he was done. That last year in the playoffs, he should have just stopped after that. After he got absolutely smashed by the Cleveland Brownies. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's got nothing left, right? To be quite honest, this is gonna sound bad, but he looks like he's got this arm strength of Peyton Manning at the end of his career, which was not good.
Yeah,
non-existent. It was non-existent.
Yeah.
I think he's worn out that arm.
Kind of fun fact, and I have a question for you guys. On the flip side of this, how do you feel about the Bengals?
Milk?
I think you nailed something. You said something earlier that really resonates about them being a Jekyll and Hyde team. Because when they're good and when they're unstoppable. They're dangerous. That defense is no joke. They have wide receivers coming out the wazoo. They got a great running game. Joe Burrow reminds me of Joe Montana. There are some striking similarities there. But on the flip side, when they're bad, they're bad. They fail spectacularly, losing to the Jets, costing me fucking money. When they're not clicking on all cylinders, they're hot garbage. So I think right now, for the best thing for them, collect more wins, get on a momentum train into the playoffs, because I would not want to see this team in the first round.
All right. No, I like that. I like that. I got a complete random question for both of you. 5, 10, 15 years from now, when Joe Burrows either gets traded or retires, do they hire another ginger quarterback? Like, is this just their thing?
He's not ginger.
He is ginger. He's got a little ginger in him.
I don't think he's ginger. Like, Orange Crush is ginger, okay?
The Red Rifle is ginger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's ginger. I don't think Burrow is ginger, but I don't know. He's got a long career ahead of him. He's so in the pocket.
I do want to agree with you. These wide receivers that they have with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, like that's amazing. Even Uzuma as their tight end, yeah, he didn't do much this week, but he can light it up too. And yeah, that's a great receiving core. I have no problems with that receiving core, and I don't think Joe Burrow does either. So yeah,
Scary team.
scary team. Nemo, what do we got on the table next?
Oh, we've got the good old talking of shit shows, the Wild Card Melee. So we've pretty much got one wild card left up for grab, really, in the AFC. We've got the Chargers currently holding on for dear life in that position. Then you've got the Broncos, Raiders, Colts, Browns, Steelers, and we'll be generous and give the Dolphins a shout out.
Laces out.
Yeah. Ray Finkel. If they had Ray Finkel, I would be fully behind them getting the wild card.
Oh, me too.
How do you guys feel about this? To be quite honest, to me, quickly, what do you guys think of anybody out of the Broncos, Raiders, Colts, Browns, Steelers, Dolphin pique your interest in terms of making a late season push?
Go ahead, Goobie. Start us off.
I'm loving this Colts team right now. Yeah, they're 6-6, but they're looking great. I mean, what do we got? The
Chargers are holding down the last spot.
The Chargers are holding down the last spot, but I think the Colts will make a great push. They're looking good, and I mean they're playing Houston next, so I think the ball's in their court. To be honest, I don't want to talk about the Denver Broncos because it's the Denver Broncos.
And the Raiders. They got KC twice coming up.
Yeah. That's a pointless talk right there. The Vegas Raiders, they look good, but I don't think they can hold off. I'm looking at these Colts, man, and it's looking good. And the Browns, not a chance in hell. The Steelers, not a chance in hell. The Dolphins, not a chance in hell. So between the Chargers, Raiders, and Colts, I'm picking the Colts.
No, you know what? That's not a bad pick at all, especially since they play in such a terrible division where they have the Jags and the Titans, and they have, what's that other team that's there? It's the Jaguars, Colts, Titans,
Texans,
and the Texans. That's right. So there's two really horrible teams in that division. Sorry, Nemo, but it's the truth. That's a great pick. I still, though, have faith in the Chargers. Even though they do have a harder division and more difficult schedule, there's way too much talent on that team to not get in the playoffs. Eckler, Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, they got to get it done. They can get it done when they are clicking again on all cylinders. They are a team to be reckoned with. So I like the Chargers to maintain that spot, but look for the Colts. It's going to be a dogfight between the Colts and the Chargers. I have no faith in the Raiders. There's too much turmoil that's gone on that team the entire year. I just think it's too much to overcome. The Broncos have a very difficult schedule remaining. So that's a no, and I don't like them, so fuck them. The Browns, they've had every opportunity to showcase why they were good last year, and they failed. And not to mention Baker Mayfield sucks donkey balls. So no. The Steelers, you tied the Lions. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Enough said. And the Dolphins, even though they're surging with a nice 3-game winning streak, and they have some easy matchups coming up, I just don't have faith in Tua. He looks like a chicken with no fucking head running around on the field. So that's my take.
Sorry, Nemo, to cut you off, but I just look at the Colts' schedule. Their schedule does not look very good. They got Houston. We'll take that as a win. They got a bye. Week 15, they play the Patriots. Then they play the Cardinals. Week 16, they play the Raiders. Week 17, and then they win week 18 against the Jaguars.
What do you think, Nemo? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, I would go Chargers. I mean, Carson Wentz can make some unbelievable plays, and then he can make some of the worst plays you will ever see on a football field, like throwing a ball with his other hand while he's getting sacked in his own end zone, which results as a result of that, I feel like the Colts can beat probably anyone, but could lose to anyone. And that's like, I could see them blowing it and doing something dumb, like losing to the Texans or the Jaguars, which, like, you shouldn't be allowed to get in if you lose to either of those teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers, we've already touched on them. I think the Broncos, no shot. Raiders are so Jekyll. Weird. I don't know what to think of the Raiders. I think it's Chargers to lose. I don't really, as you said, too much talent, significantly better, and those other teams seem to all be in free fall. But moving on to the NFC, which is just a dumpster fire.
The cluster.
We've got, I would say, 2 wildcard spots up for grab. Currently, the 49ers at 6-5 and the Washington football team at 5-6 occupying them. And then you've got the Vikings, Falcons, Saints, all at 5-6, as well as Eagles, Panthers, 5-7. I don't think we need to go further down the list because it just gets more painful to watch.
It's so true.
Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on the NFC wildcard situation?
Okay, so like you said, it's more of a clusterfuck in that regard. It's jam-packed. I do like the 49ers. I love the way they're playing right now. They did lose something significant for a couple weeks in Deebo Samuels. He pulled his groin, so he is out for a little bit. I do think, though, with all the running backs that Mike Shanahan seems to collect, they'll be okay. And they've got Ayuk, and they've got some other good talent at the wide receiver spot. George Kittle at the tight end spot. And porn star Jimmy should be able to maintain the balance. So I do like them to hold on. There is no way a football team with no name is getting in to the playoffs for a second straight year. I don't think Washington is good at all. They've just been very fortunate. They're not getting in, so I'm counting them out because Heineke sucks, and he's making the beer Heineken sound like shit. So no, he's gone. I don't like Kirk Cousins. I don't have any faith in him. They lost Dalvin Cook to injury for a couple of weeks as well. So who knows how that's going to affect them. I mean, they got the 2 stud wide receivers. Obviously, Goobie knows very well Jefferson is a beast. So if you're going to rely more on Cousins' arm, good luck to you. The Falcons, there's not much left from the Falcons, although Patterson did not see Patterson coming out of anywhere. He's been a godsend. But other than that, they're poo. The Saints, they don't have a quarterback, and I have no faith. Actually, I'm going to talk about Mr. Taysom Hill later on, but I have no faith in him. I have no faith in their offense. The defense is slowing down. That's the only way that they can somehow get in is with the defense. We'll see. Fly, Eagles, fly. More like die, Eagles, die. You guys suck. Hurts, I feel bad for you because you're a good quarterback, but your coach is a moron. So that's not getting it done. The running game, even though you're trying to run, you're emphasizing on running more, it's just not working. You lost to the Giants. Enough said. And the Panthers, I mean, we dogged Cam Newton earlier. That's just a big old mess right there. Newton is garbage. McCaffrey's out for the year. Robbie Anderson hates being there. I haven't heard DJ Moore's name in 4 weeks. And the coach apparently wants to go back to the college ranks. So they're not getting it either. So I actually, it's so tough. I do like the 49ers to maintain. but it probably is a toss-up for me between the Vikings and Saints. And because the Vikings have a quarterback, I'm going to go with the Vikings.
All right. I'm liking all of this. There's a reason why I changed my lights to purple is because I'm picking the Vikings as well. Washington, you have no name. You're not making the playoffs with no name. Just
Again.
putting that out there.
They did last year.
Yeah, well, this year they're not making it. Yeah, the Falcons, like you alluded to, I don't know. I don't have faith in Matt Ryan anymore. I don't think that's a team that's going to go anywhere. The Saints, I was a big fan of Taysom Hill, but at the same time, I don't think he can get it done. The Eagles, it's like the Broncos. I don't even need to talk about that.
No.
Carolina Panthers, you tried with Cam Newton and you failed with Cam Newton. Not a chance in hell. Especially with CMC out. That's your goat. That's your leader. That's like, as Terrell Owens would say, that's my quarterback. That's my teammate. He is your quarterback of that team. He runs that team. And without CMC, Panthers going nowhere. I think this is the Vikings' position to lose. They have the talent. They have an okay defense. I like Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Like, these guys are crazy. I know they're without Cook for a little bit. We're gonna talk about that in probably next 5-10 minutes. I don't know. I think it's the Vikings to lose, and I think they'll get it done though. I think they'll get it done. Yeah. It's my quick take.
No love for the new Fitzmagic, eh?
No.
Absolutely not.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm with you guys. I think the 49ers are getting in. I don't know if it's they're heating up or it's also a combination of, I honestly have just, I can't, this is straight garbage. Like, does that number 7 seed even deserve to get in? Because I can't imagine they're getting in with a record above 500.
Probably not.
No.
It's sad.
It's, yeah, like I would say I've got San Francisco getting in just because, yeah, the rest of the division is so terrible. And frankly, I will say the Saints get in simply because I think, well, if you look at their schedule, they play Atlanta, who hasn't beaten anyone good. And they play Atlanta, Carolina, Miami, and they still get to play the Jets as well.
Lucky them.
So
yeah, that sounds like a schedule.
I mean, they do have to play Tampa, but I just look at it and go, out of all these teams that are just, yeah, like, it doesn't matter because they're going to get stomped in the first round anyways. But I will say the Saints get in over Washington.
Yeah, that's an easy pick. No, Washington is not getting it. I don't care if Ron Rivera is the coach or.
Yeah, but that division is so trash. Again, like, they get to feast. I mean, I don't know.
They have to play the Cowboys twice.
They still got the Cowboys twice.
Yeah, but don't they get to play the Giants?
Yeah, I'm sure they have the Giants coming up and some other shit team. But we'll see. We'll see. It's a clusterfuck, but we'll see. That's the best part about the NFL. Anything is possible. Wow. Let's move on to one of our favorite segments. A segment that sounds like Goobie's Adventures in the Toilet. We're talking boom or bust. So, Nemo, you are the guest of honor. Who's your boom or bust this week?
My boom or bust is Dontrell Hilliard. I think Goobie, you've already mentioned it last week. The last 2 weeks he's played, he's gone off. I mean, I think not only him, but Freeman went off too. I just look at it and go, I think Tennessee at this point, you can just say they can just run the ball. It doesn't seem to matter who's really back there. I mean, they do have a bye this week, so I guess like for this week specifically, maybe not a great play, but then he gets Jacksonville. So he gets you 2 weeks worth of points in 1 week, the week after. So why it's got Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco, Miami, Houston, Atlanta. Like he's gonna I just see him going. Yeah, that's my boom. That's who I would if you're looking for running back help. That's who I would look at grabbing personally. Thoughts?
Tons of people are looking for running back help.
Yeah, mainly you.
Mainly everybody in fantasy football, man. The amount of running backs that have gone down this year, this is crazy.
Hey, Goobie, what is he, a boom or bust in your book?
He's a boom in my book. I think they're both a boom. You can start either one of the running backs from Tennessee and you'll get points. But yeah, boom in my book, Melky.
He's a bust, man. Like they rotated different running backs around. It feels like a whorehouse they're running at the moment. Just look for his 15 minutes of fame to come to an end.
Hey, it's working. It's a very effective whorehouse.
After his bye week, he'll be another forgotten man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going with another backup, Alexander Madison, with Cook looking to miss at least a week or two due to injury. Matheson will be the running back one for the Vikings. And I think the Vikings at the moment are on the outside looking in, as we alluded to, but they need a boost. And I think Matheson will be a huge boost for them. For that reason, he's going to be a boom this week versus the Detroit. He has shown he can put up Cook-type numbers. So look for him to get the win over the Lonely Lions. And I think next week too, or the week after, I think he'll be a boom if he starts. Matheson's a great running back, and I have no doubts in him. Melky?
I'm going to agree with you. He's definitely a boom this week and going forward. He's shown the same tendencies as Dalvin Cook, so I don't see why he can't get the job done. The Vikings offense relies on the run game, so look for it to continue and look for Matheson to have a great 2 weeks until Cook comes back.
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts, Nemo?
Clean sweep. I think he's a boom too. As you guys pretty much already touched upon it, I don't know if proven is the right word to use, but he has shown that capable of handling it, and I don't see any reason why that's going to change.
Perfect.
All right. We finally agree on something. And last but not least, I'm going with the go-go gadget man himself, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill to the rescue? I think not. How can someone be the ultimate gadget man when his feet aren't working? The offense is also non-existent over the past few games, so no matter who Sean Payton puts at the helm, the result will be the same. A disaster. He's a giant bust. He's the type of bust that happens in a bukkake in a porno film. Don't pick him up. He sucks. The Saints offense sucks. He's a bust this week.
Yeah, I agree. He's a bust. Like I said though, I did like Taysom Hill, but I don't think he can get it done. I don't think the Saints can get it done. So yeah, he's a bust in my book. Nemo.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, cool story and all. Go BYU. Go Mormons. But like, he is from BYU, right?
Yeah. BYU.
Yeah. Yeah, I just same thing. I mean, there's way better options out there at QB. Yeah, I don't understand Sean Payton's love affair with Taysom Hill, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that makes no sense in my books.
I think he just likes him because he's multi-talented, where he can run, he can slide into the as a tight end, he can do all sorts of things. But if he was so good, why didn't he start over Jameis Winston, aka Crab Legs?
I don't know. He sounds like the next Tim Tebow.
He's way better than Tim Tebow.
Well,
But
we-
I'm
I
saying
mean, we-
you throw him in the
hey,
tight
hey.
end position and whatnot. Like,
Tim Tebow's won a playoff game. Taysom Hill hasn't.
Oh, dude, that's your walk-off right there. All right,
I mean, we
Goobie.
saw this last year, and he was garbage. He had one good game and 3 disasters, or 2 disasters. So yeah.
Actually, he had two good games in a row, but
And then
one of them he lost. But I think one of them he lost, and then he went on like a horrible skid
Yeah.
where he was garbage, like he was flaming garbage.
yeah.
So
All
that's
right.
what expected Thursday.
All right. Well, it's our last segment as per usual, Toonie Bets. And I got a good one for you because these people I picked, or this team I picked as my sleeper, and I'm going Pats over the Bills. They're just looking too good to be true, and I think the Pats are. I think the Pats are going places. It's weird to say without Tom Brady at the helm, but they're going places.
I'll double the Toonie bet and bet you the Bills win. It's in Buffalo, the land of chairs, tables, and ladders, and flaming and women going through them. Buffalo cannot afford to lose this game, and it's at home. I guarantee. I'm guaranteeing you Buffalo Bills win this game. Let's go Buffalo.
I think they lose, and then they're gonna have that little sad times when they used to play Tom Brady and lose all the time.
Only time will tell. All right, that's a good matchup though. It's good on you. So I'm gonna take a sure thing, and sorry, Nemo, I'm dedicating this to you, and I'm going with the Rams over the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is about to get a dose of reality and pain. Look for the Rams to get back on track when they curb stomp the Jaguars.
Nemo, what are your thoughts on that one?
I mean, hasn't he gotten a dose of pain all year? Like, the guy never lost in high school or college, and then he comes to this turd of a franchise and just gets. Yeah, no, I would never bet on the Jaguars ever.
Even against the Texans? Or the
No,
Lions?
no. They look
At least
so
he's-
unprepared.
At
They're-
least he's an honest Jaguars fan.
I think Urban Meyer might be one of the worst coaches in the NFL of all time.
All
Well,
right.
it's definitely not the worst bar owner.
Go
All
back
right.
to your bar, pal.
All right, Nemo, what's your Toonie bet for this week?
All right, I'm going out on a limb here, and I'm hopping on board with the kneecap eating or chewing, whatever the hell they are, Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions over the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, wow.
First win.
All
It's gonna
right.
happen. They're gonna have to win at some point. That division, they've been in some games. I just think it's bound to happen just by sheer dumb luck. They're at home. The Vikings, this seems like the Vikings should win, but it seems like a very Viking thing to do to lose to the Lions in a game like this.
Who's
Yeah.
the home team?
Detroit.
You might be onto something.
Yeah.
I would love that because I'm sure me and Melky would be sending out text messages to somebody saying, "Sucks to be you."
Well, it sucks to be them all season, so it's nothing new on her part.
All right. I could get on that bandwagon with you and take the Detroit Lions over the Vikings.
I got the purple dinosaurs roughing up the Lions again.
All right. So, everybody knows that Ba Walker is the one who created the segment, so we always love to have his little taste of glory on here. So here we go with Ba's pick.
Hey boys, Ba here for another week of Toonie Bets. I want to shout out to you guys for bringing on the only Jacksonville fan in existence onto the show, so kudos for that. My pick this week is the Washington football team versus the Vegas Raiders, and I've got Vegas winning it. They are going to end Washington's 3-game winning streak. It's in Vegas. Washington has a terrible, terrible pass defense. So I think Carr and probably Hunter Renfrow are going to have a game. And sorry, Melky, but Waller's doubtful. And even if he was playing, I doubt he'd do shit. So I've got Vegas winning. They're 6th in total yards. Yeah, can't wait to hear your opinions. Let's go, boys.
That sounds like a hint to me to start Hunter Renfrow.
Do your worst.
All right. Nemo, thank you for joining us on this podcast. I love your insights on all this football nonsense that we're talking about. It was great having you. Melky, what do you got going?
Well, that's all she wrote this week. Had some fun, had some laughs at the extent of our Jaguar-loving friend Nemo. Thank you, buddy, for joining us. And the floor is yours. Do you want to add anything? Do you want to give a shout out to anyone?
I just wanted to thank you guys for having me on. I also just wanted to throw this at you guys quickly here. I think I had spoken to Melky about this, but I pretty much went ahead and looked at records of all NFL teams from 1990 to 1999. I know it's going back a while, but I figure we might go back in history, and I think it kind of proves why everybody loves football so much. When I averaged out the average records for most teams, for all the teams, almost everyone was around 500, either 9-7 or 7-9. Now, my question to you guys is, who do you think had the most wins total in the 90s in the NFL in the AFC, and which team do you think had the most wins in the NFC?
Oh, that's a solid question right there. The NFC, I'm going to go San Francisco. And AFC, that's tough. Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. I want to say mine before you throw it out there. 90s. I'm gonna say the Cowboys for the NFC. And I'm going to say the 90s, eh?
Don't look it up.
No, I'm not looking it up. I'm looking at the AFC and NFC teams because like fucking I can't remember all the teams. That's a hard choice. I don't even know. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say the Broncos.
Those were close. Melky, you were right with the 49ers in the NFC, but it was actually the Bills in the AFC.
Wow. Oh, right, because didn't they go to 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
3 in a row, I think. Yeah. They had an average record of 10-6.
Yeah. I remember. I should have known that because the Cowboys beat them up twice in the Super Bowl in the 90s.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the fact that when I look at this, it's like everybody's average record is like, almost no one is more than 10-6, and most people are at like 7-9 at the worst. Except for the Bengals, but point is, I think it proves that there's so much parity in football that in a 10-year period, everyone's got average records so close to each other. So I think that's part of the reason why we love this beautiful game.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, it is a wonderful game. It's nonstop action. It's the emotional roller coaster ride you want to be a part of. And again, we want to thank you for being here and taking this dysfunctional ride with us. Goobie, before we go, is there anything you want to add to the docket?
Not much. I can't wait to shoot our episode of While I Had Mustard. with our new co-hosts. And yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow night's game.
Lovely. You know what? I just want to give thanks to the network. I want to give thanks to you guys. And I give thanks to podcasting in general. It's just a way of getting your voice out there. And yeah, let's get it done, Cowboys. Stop fucking around. No McCarthy means big victory. Let's go. So on that note, that's Goobie. That's Nemo. This is Melky. And we're out.
Peace.